Hello. Wow, it looks like we are live. So I wanted to come on here really quick and explain to you guys why your chickens aren't laying eggs. We are inside the cabin today because it is very, very, very windy outside and it's cold and I don't feel like being cold. So we are in the cabin where I got my wood stove, my chair, and pretty much nothing else because we're working on fixing it up. And we're going to have some articles for you guys about it. Okay. So excuse me. Very, very quickly, well, maybe not very, very quickly, but for those who don't know who I am, my name is Mayat Van Eidert. I own the blog Pampered Chicken Mama, formerly Frugal Chicken. And I own this page, Living the Good Life with Backyard Chickens. This is my page. And I named it that because that's what we do. We live the good life with backyard chickens. So I have been getting, you can even see my breath, so many messages from you guys about why are my chickens not laying eggs. I got a thing right here too. And I'm getting so many emails, so many comments in the blog saying, why aren't my chickens laying eggs? And luckily I got a very simple answer for you, but you're not going to like it. And I promise you that your chickens are not on strike. 99.9% of the reason why your chickens are not laying eggs is this. It is because there's not enough sunlight out. It is that simple. It's because in the Northern Hemisphere at least, all y'all in Australia, New Zealand, South Africa, you guys are doing fine. It's all of us people in the US, in Canada, and the northern part of Europe. Pretty much all of Europe. Anyways, that is the reason why your chickens aren't laying eggs, is because there's just not enough daylight this time of year. And believe me, I know that there are some superstars out there who have chickens and they're still laying eggs and it's December and the eggs are freezing in the coop. I get it. I know that, right? But for the people who are emailing me and saying, why aren't my chickens laying eggs? That's why, in all likelihood. So basically the way that it works is hens are triggered to lay eggs by hormones. Those hormones are triggered by daylight. When there's not enough daylight, because it's the dead of winter, they ain't gonna lay eggs, right? And again, there's not all chickens out there. That's not, every chicken's an individual, and there are some breeds that lay better. So production reds lay better than some other breeds. Like we have blue copper Morans. I love these chickens. I'm going to go get more of them, but they don't lay good. They don't lay very well. And I've said that kind of like my whole time I've had my website. I want to say maybe in the time we've had them, we've had 3 for quite a few years now. I think we've gotten less than 100 eggs. I think we've gotten less than 50 eggs out of these chickens. Okay. But that's just the way it is. And I didn't buy them for the eggs. I bought them because I wanted that breed. So some breeds are going to lay better than others. Some breeds they're not as affected by the whole daylight issue. Some of them are bred to lay kind of like no matter what, which are mostly like the production reds, that whole some of like the industrial leghorns, some of the industrial like Rhode Island Reds. By industrial I mean let's back up a second. Getting ahead of myself. When it comes to breeds, like heritage breeds, okay, so when it comes to breeds like Barred Rocks, when it comes to breeds like Rhode Island Reds, when it comes to breeds like Leghorns, there's heritage strains, and then there's industrial strains. The industrial strains are bred solely for the eggs. So if the particular chicken laid eggs very consistently, they're going to breed that line. If the chicken does not do that, they don't care about the whole heritage aspect of it. They just want the egg production. So the industrial strains are bred to kind of like lay no matter what. The heritage breeds, which tend to be bigger, they tend to be healthier, they tend to be more, like there's a real difference visually between them. Go look it up on the Google. Those ones, the heritage breeds, might not lay as well. Roger says his Orpingtons are still laying sometimes 2 days, sometimes 3 a day. That's great. Like I said, it kind of just depends on the individual chicken, but for all y'all who are messaging me, your chickens aren't sick, your chickens aren't dying. I mean, I don't know that kind of your chickens, but you know what I'm saying. I mean, I got people messaging me saying, are my chickens sick? Are they dying? Am I doing something wrong? The answer is no, in all likelihood. So some other reasons why your chickens aren't laying could be things like, let me just shift this a little bit, whatever. Could be things like they're not getting enough to eat. If it's really, really cold where you're at, hold on. The sun shifted and there we go. Now you can see my pretty face better. Anyways, if if they're not eating as well, it's cold out, they might need a little bit more protein, a little bit more grain, whatever you feed them, in order to start laying again. So it could actually be like they're not getting enough to eat. But if your chick, I mean, it's not that hard to feed chickens. So if you're sure your chickens are getting enough to eat and they're not laying, it's probably really just because of the light. Other reasons might be like they could be sick, maybe they're not getting enough calcium. But just double check their feed, double check what you're feeding them, just make sure that they're getting enough. If you're concerned, you can leave it out during the day, like all day long, and then take it out at night so you don't have like raccoons and other critters trying to get in there. It's totally okay to do that. Tanya says, her girls lay every other day now in the winter unless I keep the heat lamp on, which I try not to unless it gets really cold. Yeah, don't use that heat lamp unless you absolutely have to. So that's the deal. It's not going to be that long today. That's pretty much the reason why they're not laying eggs. We're getting some eggs. We're not getting a whole lot of eggs. I kind of give them the winter off. I don't really worry too much about it. If you want them to continue laying in the winter, and you don't want to go to the store and buy eggs, something you could do that's really, really simple is put a light in the coop. And by light, I don't mean like a little 60-watt bulb. A 60-watt bulb might be okay, but I don't mean like one little tiny light. It ain't gonna work. I mean like a daylight simulating LED bulb that gives a fairly good amount of light. You can go with that, or you can try. If it's not like enough, you can go with like 2 or 3 of them. Tanya says -30. Why are you even living there if it's -30? Because here it's like, oh God, I want to say it's like 20 degrees. No, it's like 30 degrees plus 30 degrees here today. And I'm like, I ain't going outside. I'm done. I fed my animals. I made sure everyone had water. I made sure everyone had hay. I made sure everybody had bedding so they can nest down for the night. And I'm like done. I'm not even going like -30. I would just not even I would be moving. So anyways, but going back to the lights real quick, you can try regular bulbs. I don't even know what you call them, regular incandescent bulbs. I don't know. But the ones to go for are the LED daylight simulating, and the reason for that is because, 1, they simulate daylight, 2, the LED light bulbs don't get hot. So the ceramic base can get kind of hot, so you might want to just check on that. But the light bulbs themselves don't get hot, so if a chicken flies up against it, if it falls down, it's a lot less likely to cause a fire than something like a heat lamp. Do I use them? No, because I'd rather not get eggs than have my entire coop burned down. I paid a lot of money for my coop. So it's not, it all comes down to risk-benefit ratio. Pretty much everything when it comes to animals and living on a farm is risk-benefit ratio. They don't some people don't like to realize that, but that's kind of what it boils down to. Risk-benefit ratio. So I paid a lot of money for my coop. I don't want it to burn down. I don't even I don't even try and take a chance for eggs, So, I can go buy eggs from the guy down the street who has chickens, who keeps his chickens just the same way that I do, and, So anyways, guys, that is the deal with, why your chickens aren't laying eggs. It's super duper simple. So if you are concerned that your chickens are sick, if you're concerned that you're doing something wrong, in all likelihood you're not, you can either use the bulb, like we talked about, or you can just go ahead and wait until the sun comes back, which should just be in 2 or 3 months. Usually March-ish. Okay, end of February, March-ish is when there's enough daylight. 12 to 14 hours is kind of the rule of thumb. Again, like Tanya's chickens, there's going to be some superstars out there. Roger and Tanya got superstar chickens, and they might lay even if it's Armageddon. I don't know, but those are your choices. So, anyways, that's the deal, guys. I hope you have found this helpful. If you have questions, leave them below. And when I'm done with this, what I'll do is below I will leave a link where you can get a free treat booklet. So if you are concerned about your chickens not having enough food or not having enough fat, or just want to spend some time with them, making them some treats, the little book will show you how to do that, okay? So when I'm done with this, I'll do it below. I'll put it below. Okay, guys, that's it. I'm going to go inside because I'm cold because the cabin is not that warm. All right, bye. Have a good night.